Hi everybody, and welcome back. My name's Matthew Boyle from LanguageCardGames.com, and today I'd like to summarize for you very briefly, if I could, my journey into learning languages and what that was like for me, just to give you a little bit of background. So my first experience learning languages was in high school when we were required to choose one. My high school had a requirement that you could choose to study 2 different foreign languages for 2 years, or you could choose to study one language for 3 years, and that would satisfy the requirement. So we didn't have any choice about the matter, really. We had to start studying one, which generally I think is good. But I chose Spanish because I thought that would be the most useful living in the States, as I do. But I had a really difficult time learning Spanish, and I just struggled with it. I didn't really like learning how to conjugate things, the different tenses, and the different genders of words, male and female, although I did like how it sounded, and I still like how it sounds today. I think it's a really beautiful language, and if I could go back in time, I wish it had been different. But my first experience with learning languages was not very good. It was in a traditional classroom setting, and I didn't feel much of a great connection to my classmates or my teacher, and I just struggled, and I ended up getting a really low grade. I might have even failed, but I can't remember now, and I had to retake the class again. So I was in Spanish for about 3 years just to get half of the requirement satisfied, 2 years. And then I was like, I have to get out of here. I can't be in here for going on a 4th year to do a 3-year requirement of Spanish. I need to change something because this is like, I'm suffering here. And I changed to American Sign Language, which was allegedly the easiest class at my school. A lot of students took that who didn't want to put a lot of effort into language learning. They thought that class would be easy, and it kind of was in some respects, but it changed something for me because our teacher was actually deaf. So that made the context of language learning very real to me. We had to either write with him or use signs. Maybe he could read our lips a little bit, I don't really know. But that was an amazing introduction to language learning for me because of how real it was in learning about his life as a deaf person. And so that started to change things for me and make me think that I could learn languages. And when I went to university, again, there was a language learning requirement waiting for me. And at that time, I decided to take Arabic because one of my best friends spoke that as his native language. And I really enjoyed it because the teacher was very good. And the students in the class were also very nice and very fun to be with. And I think we had a small class of maybe like 15 people. And I loved writing the beautiful script of Arabic from right to left. And I loved trying to learn how to make some of their interesting sounds come from the back of the throat, really. And I ended up getting a very high score in that class. I might have even gotten an A+. And at that point, my idea about myself and my ability to learn languages really started to shift. So then something really strange and crazy happened, and that was the requirements of my university changed somewhat. I don't remember the details now, but it was something like, you've got to learn a language again, and if you like, you can take that class over again. So that was really annoying. I felt kind of screwed by the university's changes of requirements. But anyways, I decided I was getting into Asian history at the time. That was my major, actually, and I was learning all these Asian history classes and religion and philosophy. And I decided, well, why don't I take a Chinese language class? That might actually end up helping me out with all the history that I'm learning. And that class turned out to be just as great as the Arabic class. And I got a very high score in that one as well, and we had a very lovely and capable teacher and students who were very interested to learn. So I guess I'm sharing this video today not only to give you some background about my path into learning languages, but also to remind you that the environment is so important, to be with a great teacher and students who really want to learn with you, and have an interest in that language. All of that is super, super important, and it can actually affect your self-identity. I mean, it may change whether you think you're someone who can learn languages or not. So that's really important. And I also want to encourage you, wherever you're at, whatever path that you're on, I want to give you encouragement and wish you the greatest success. And if you're struggling right now and you're having difficulty with your language learning, don't think that it's you, that you can't do it. Consider the environmental factors and see if there's anything that you can adjust so that you can start to change things for the better. Okay, that's it for today's video. Let me know about your experience learning languages below, or if you have any questions about those languages that I was sharing, that I learned. If you want to go deeper with some of the information that I shared, that would be great. Okay, I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye.